Welcome to The Explainer. I am so thrilled to have you here today because we're looking at a topic that is, well, absolutely mind-bending. Just imagine looking up at the night sky and knowing for an absolute fact that someone or something is looking back. Today, we're exploring a blueprint for humanity's greatest discovery. We're talking about the ultimate revelation, the exact moment that would completely and permanently change human history forever. Just imagine it. Take a second and really put yourself in that moment right now. What if humans found aliens? Picture yourself waking up tomorrow morning, grabbing your phone, and seeing this news just blazing across every single screen on Earth. It wouldn't just be breaking news, right? It would be an event of massive scale and absolute urgency. Literally everything we thought we knew about our place in the universe would just be thrown out the window in a single instant. Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, the moment of discovery. So how exactly does a monumental event like this actually start? It doesn't usually happen with a giant spaceship suddenly hovering over a major city like in the movies. Instead, it begins through a process of really careful, undeniable scientific observation. If we look at the logical progression of discovery, it likely starts with catching signals from space. We're talking about highly structured radio waves, a mathematical whisper in the dark that nature simply cannot produce on its own. From there, the timeline moves from auditory to visual evidence. Using our absolute most advanced space missions and telescopes, astronomers might spot artificial chemical signatures in the atmosphere of a distant exoplanet. And finally, that brings us to the ultimate find, unexplained technology, or even direct contact. We literally go from analyzing faint, distant signals to staring right at a piece of alien architecture. Now, what's really interesting here is the sheer contrast between these two potential realities. On one hand, finding microbial life, say tiny fossilized bacteria preserved under the ice of a distant moon, would be scientifically revolutionary. It tells us the recipe for life is common. But encountering intelligent civilizations, wow, that completely changes the game. We aren't just finding basic biology anymore. We're finding culture, intention, and potentially a massive, intimidating technological gap. Which brings us to Section 2, the immediate global shock. Because once that discovery is actually verified by the scientific community, the aftermath wouldn't stay quietly hidden in some observatory. No way. It would become a real-time global breaking news event unlike anything in human history. I want to guide you through this frenzy, this reaction cascade. It basically happens in 3 distinct steps. Step 1 is scientific confirmation, where astronomers frantically double-check their data to ensure it's not a glitch or a false positive. Once confirmed, we instantly hit Step 2, the government response. World leaders are briefed, defense departments go on high alert, and press conferences are hastily organized across the globe. And then, the dam breaks with Step 3, a global internet meltdown. Public shock and intense excitement take over every digital platform, causing an unprecedented frenzy as billions of people simultaneously try to process the exact same news, and, let's be honest, undoubtedly crash every major server on Earth in the process. This discovery rapidly ripples out to redefine our everyday lives. The social and cultural effects are absolutely staggering. It forces profound changes in religion, philosophy, and our core human identity. After all, what does it mean to be human if we're just one of many intelligent species out there? We might see an incredible surge in global unity, a sudden realization that our earthly borders don't really matter much when facing the wider cosmos. But hand in hand with that unity, we also face the severe risk of fear, panic, and an overwhelming public curiosity that could heavily disrupt society if it isn't managed properly. Moving into Section 3, the science of alien life. Let's step away from the social shockwave for a second and look at the hard data, because our scientific reality changes overnight. We get a complete paradigm shift in our understanding of biology and the universe, finally gaining a totally independent data point for life. This triggers an absolute explosion of new technologies and discoveries as we frantically attempt to study their origins or decode their signals. And ultimately, it forces us to ask brand new, profound questions about evolution itself. Does life always evolve to look humanoid, or is life beyond Earth completely, utterly unimaginable to us right now? Section 4, the challenge of first contact. Knowing they're out there is one thing. Actually talking to them, that is another entirely. The sheer difficulty and, frankly, the underlying terror of trying to communicate with a completely unknown intelligence is monumental. So the crucial point is grasping these massive communication challenges. We face extreme difficulty in understanding an alien language or their intentions. I mean, they might communicate in ways we can't even perceive yet, through complex light spectrums, mathematical pulses, or chemical signals. This leads directly to severe risks of misunderstanding. A simple, friendly greeting could be mistranslated as a threat, or vice versa. Therefore, any methodical attempts to establish contact would have to be incredibly delicate, cautious, and universally agreed upon by Earth's top experts. That extreme caution is totally necessary because we're forced into a terrifying guessing game regarding their intentions. Why are they here? Why are they broadcasting? Are they friendly explorers driven by the same scientific curiosity that we have? Are they engaged in mere observation, maybe treating Earth like a giant nature preserve to be studied from afar? Or do they have unknown and potentially dangerous motives we simply wouldn't know? And that dark uncertainty would hang over every single decision we make. Eventually, the initial shock fades. Section 5. Humanity's New Reality. Let's look at the permanent, long-term aftermath for planet Earth. How does humanity function once the truth is definitively out there? We're forced into a really delicate balancing act of our new existence. And this brilliantly illustrates the dynamic. Weighing the advantages against the risks, we see incredible benefits on one side, huge leaps in knowledge, potential access to highly advanced technology, and vastly accelerated space progress. But on the flip side, we face severe dangers, the threat of global conflict over how to actually handle the aliens, mass panic disrupting our economies, and rampant misinformation muddying the waters. We get the ultimate prize of cosmic knowledge, but we're forced to navigate extreme global volatility just to keep it. If we do manage to navigate those risks, the long-term impact on humanity is profound. Space exploration rapidly accelerates because we finally have a highly tangible, vital reason to venture out of our solar system. Psychologically, humans permanently see themselves differently. That barrier of being the center of the universe vanishes completely. And ultimately, this new reality could force an unprecedented global cooperation. Our earthly differences begin to matter a whole lot less when we realize we share a tiny, fragile blue dot in a very crowded cosmos. I really want you to consider this thought for a moment. Discovering aliens would be one of the biggest events in human history. I want to ensure you truly grasp the absolute magnitude of this hypothetical event. It literally divides the entire timeline of Earth into two distinct eras, before we knew and after we knew. Every single thing, from our history books to our daily routines, would be forever colored by this one single revelation. Which leaves us right here. When we look up at the stars, the biggest question may not be, are we alone? Because once that discovery is made, that part is finally answered. The real question, the one that should linger in our minds today, long before any signal is ever detected, is, are we ready?